Do you believe that simply by combining two basic ingredients, a forgotten plant-based oil and a familiar woody-scented essential oil, your body could gradually regain flexibility in blood circulation, reduce pressure on the prostate area, and even rekindle a sense of masculinity you thought had long faded away? It might sound hard to believe, but the truth is that millions of men over 60 are living with a growing disconnection from their bodies. They wake up multiple times at night to urinate, lose sensation in their private areas, and become less and less intimate with their partners. They think it's just aging, but the truth isn't that simple. According to a report published in the International Journal of Geriatrics, over 65% of men after the age of 60 show signs of decreased pelvic blood flow. Yet most of them accept it as an inevitable part of getting older instead of seeking early intervention. Here's the good news: you don't need medication or expensive devices. With a natural method that's simple and easy to apply at home, you can still reverse this condition. I'm Dr. Samuel Grant, a men's health specialist. In today's video, I'm going to share with you a gentle yet deeply effective therapy that works at the foundation of male physiology, helping restore blood circulation, improve prostate function, and more importantly, help you reconnect with your own body. Especially in this first part, I'll explain why so many men after 60 start experiencing sexual decline, and more importantly, why it's not just about age, but the result of multiple silent changes that can be adjusted once you understand the mechanism. This is something often overlooked, but in reality, it is the key foundation for making any recovery process truly effective and long-lasting. But before we begin, I'd love to get to know you a little. Where are you watching this video from? Leave me a comment below. I'd be very happy to know who I'm accompanying on this health journey today. If this is your first time visiting the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss out on practical, down-to-earth, and helpful health videos, specifically created for men after middle age. Now let's begin with the first part, understanding the real reason why men over 60 tend to lose their performance and why this can be improved. Part 1. What really causes male vitality to decline after 60 and why you shouldn't just blame age. Many men feel confused when they realize that after turning 60, their desire decreases, sensation fades, and morning erections almost completely disappear. Most assume it's simply due to getting older. But the truth is that simple. This isn't some random or irreversible process. On the contrary, it's the result of silent biological changes inside the body, and more importantly, we can absolutely intervene to correct them. From my experience working with hundreds of older male patients, I've identified three main causes behind the decline in sexual function. Blood circulation to the pelvic region decreases over time, chronic low-grade inflammation around the prostate, and the buildup of toxins due to reduced physical activity after middle age. I've met many men who used to be strong and confident, but one day they come to see me filled with worry. Like Mr. Raymond, a man in his 60s who shared, "Dr. Grant, I feel like the lower half of my body has completely disappeared." I understand that, because this sense of disconnection isn't just about physical changes. It's a quiet fading of one's masculine identity, something few men dare to speak about. Medically, this can be clearly explained. When blood vessels in the lower abdomen and genital region begin to harden and lose elasticity, blood flow decreases significantly. As a result, natural physiological reflexes weaken, and the body no longer responds the way it used to. On top of that, the prostate, a central organ in male sexual function, begins to experience mild inflammation with age. This inflammation compresses nearby nerves, affects sensation, and leads to frequent nighttime urination, urgency, or even a cold sensation in the pelvic area. And finally, one factor that's often overlooked but has a major impact. The body becomes increasingly sedentary after age 60, causing lymphatic flow to stagnate and toxins to accumulate in the lower abdomen. When circulation slows, oxygen supply to the tissues becomes insufficient, and the feeling of disconnection from the lower body becomes inevitable. But here's what I want you to remember. This is not your fault. This is a normal biological reaction, and more importantly, it can be corrected if you understand the root causes and take the right steps. And that's exactly why in the next section, I'll be sharing with you a type of oil that many people have forgotten. Yet it has the ability to penetrate deep into tissues, soothe inflammation, and activate blood flow. From there, it helps awaken male vitality completely naturally, without medication, without psychological pressure, and without any shame. My friend, if you're still watching this video at this point, I'm truly glad that you care about your health. Please leave a number 1 in the comments below to let me know that you're still with me on this journey. Ingredient 1. Castor oil, the key to deep pelvic circulation recovery for older men. When I was still a medical student, castor oil was only known as a folk remedy, commonly used as a laxative or skin moisturizer. Hardly anyone mentioned its effects in restoring male sexual function. But after decades of working with elderly patients, I gradually realized this forgotten oil holds a special potential that modern medicine should not overlook. What makes castor oil unique is not its popularity, but its ability to penetrate deeply into soft tissue layers, something very few natural oils can do. While many oils only stay on the skin's surface, castor oil can carry natural anti-inflammatory compounds deep into the lower abdomen, groin, and around the prostate, areas rich in blood vessels and nerves crucial for male sexual health. I remember very clearly the case of Mr. Walter, 74 years old, who had completely lost sensation in the genital area for almost 2 years. After trying everything from supplements to considering direct injection therapy, he came to me in despair. We started with one simple step, applying castor oil to the lower abdomen and inner thighs regularly 3-4 times a week. 2 weeks later, he returned with eyes full of surprise and emotion. I didn't think I could feel this clearly again. The truth is, once blood circulation begins to return, even just a little, the body will start to send back the first signals of life, of recovery, and of reconnection. Not only that, castor oil can also stimulate the lymphatic system, the system that helps the body eliminate toxins and excess fluids. The lower abdomen is often a place where biological waste accumulates due to a sedentary lifestyle after 60. Unblocking the lymphatic system helps the body feel lighter, and from there, sensation is noticeably restored. One of the things I deeply appreciate about this method is no medication, no side effects, no prescriptions. Just persistence and a bit of care in the right place, done the right way, and the results will come naturally. However, to enhance its effect, castor oil needs to be combined with a companion ingredient that promotes drainage, has natural anti-inflammatory properties, and can soften hardened tissue. That's why I always recommend using it alongside pine essential oil, a gift from nature with deeper and more powerful impact than you might expect. Ingredient 2, pine essential oil, a natural extract that softens tissue and restores blocked circulation. When people think of pine essential oil, most immediately picture the pleasant scent in steam rooms or relaxation therapies. But few know that, when used correctly, pine oil can be an extremely effective support for the male pelvic region, especially for men over middle age. I once treated Mr. Ronald, 68 years old, a man very disciplined about his health. No smoking, no alcohol, healthy eating. Yet he still felt heaviness in the lower body, declining sexual vitality, and medical tests couldn't pinpoint any clear cause. When I asked, "Have you ever tried applying pine essential oil externally?" his eyes widened in surprise. Then we began a simple regimen, mixing a few drops of pine essential oil into pre-warmed castor oil and gently applying it to the lower abdomen and inner thighs. After just 4 applications, he shared during a follow-up visit, "I felt a gentle warmth spreading from within, and this morning, I felt something I thought I would never feel again." This phenomenon is backed by clear scientific explanation. The pelvic area after age 60 often falls into a state of mild acidosis due to stress, chronic inflammation, and a sedentary lifestyle. When this condition persists, tissue hardens, microvessels become compressed, and blood cannot circulate effectively. Pine essential oil contains mildly alkaline compounds with anti-inflammatory and lymphatic promoting properties. As a result, it helps neutralize acidity, soften hardened tissue, and reopen blocked capillaries, especially in sensitive areas like the prostate and genital organs. When combined with castor oil, which can penetrate deeply, the synergy effect kicks in. The mixture not only improves circulation but also creates the conditions for cellular recovery, tissue regeneration, and the gradual, natural return of sensation. But what I value most is not just the physical impact. Many have shared with me, when they begin to feel each movement, each tissue area again, it feels like reconnecting with their own body. They feel more motivated, take care of themselves more proactively, and above all, confidence returns. Of course, for this mixture to work at its full potential, you need to apply it to the right areas at the right times and using the right techniques. And in the next section, I'll guide you step by step on how to use the castor oil and pine oil mixture safely, scientifically, and effectively right at home. Not just theory, but specific actions you can take to feel real change inside your body. If you're still watching this video at this point, thank you for staying with me this far. I truly appreciate it. Please leave the number 3 in the comments below so I know I'm not speaking alone. Part 2. How to properly use the castor oil and pine oil mixture. Unlock circulation and awaken natural physiological sensation. This is the crucial moment, when all the information is no longer just theory but begins to be put into practice. When you no longer just hear me talk about castor oil and pine oil, but you yourself begin to experience real change within your own body. I'm not promising miracles, but I invite you to try a method that many of my patients over 60 have successfully applied. A gentle, simple method with the potential to create remarkable transformation. Start by preparing a clean towel and gently warming it for use at the end. Next, mix 1 teaspoon of pure castor oil with about 2 to 3 drops of pine essential oil and stir well until the mixture blends. To enhance tissue absorption, you can warm this mixture by placing the glass bowl into a hot water bath for 1 to 2 minutes. Or more simply, rub the mixture between your palms to raise its temperature slightly before applying. Once the mixture is ready, find a quiet space where you can carry out the process undisturbed. Gently apply the mixture to the lower abdomen, inner thighs, and perineal area. These are areas rich in blood vessels that nourish the genital organs and prostate. Using your fingertips, massage slowly in small circular motions. You don't need strong pressure. The goal is not deep massage, but to send relaxation signals to the nervous system, allowing the body to open up and receive internal adjustment. To optimize effectiveness, cover the applied area with a warm towel for 20 to 30 minutes. The heat helps the castor oil penetrate deeper into tissue layers and allows the pine oil to perform its function of softening tissue, supporting lymphatic drainage, and soothing areas with fibrosis or mild inflammation. After a few days of consistent practice, many people have reported feeling a gradual warmth in the lower abdomen, light tingling, and sometimes waves of gentle vibration spreading. These are signs that blood is circulating again and nerves are waking up. Some patients even shared that they slept more deeply, their nighttime urination reduced significantly, and surprisingly, morning physiological responses began to return, something they thought was long gone. However, the most common thing I hear from older gentlemen is not praise for a miracle, but rather simple reflections. I feel like I'm starting to come back to life. And you know what? That's the clearest sign your body is entering a true recovery phase. Not just physically, but emotionally and in your sense of self. If you want to go even further, beyond just circulation and into fully reactivating the sensory and physiological reflex systems, then the next step is to activate key reflex points, which I'll detail in the next part. Part 3. Activating acupressure points. Expand blood circulation and awaken physiological reflexes naturally. There are male vitality support methods that don't come from clinics or specialized medications, but from within your own body, where delicate neural reflex points already exist. When properly activated, they can improve circulation, heighten sensation, and restore vitality naturally without complicated interventions. Throughout many years working with men aged 60 to 80, I've found that combining gentle massage with acupressure on certain key physiological points can yield powerful effects, not only physically, but also mentally and emotionally. I remember Mr. George, 79 years old, living alone after his wife passed away. What brought him to see me wasn't just a sexual health issue, it was a feeling that he was gradually disappearing from his own body. He confided, "I don't need to be like I was in my youth, I just want to feel like myself again." Instead of immediately prescribing medications or running tests, I invited him to adopt a simple habit. Combine the castor oil-pine oil mixture with gentle pressure on 3 important acupressure points. Just a few minutes a day, but the results far exceeded expectations. These 3 acupressure points are not secret techniques, but locations that both traditional and modern medicine recognize for their positive effects on male vitality. Point 1. Heart 7 Shenmen, located between the 2 tendons on the inner wrist. When gently pressed for about 60 seconds, it helps relax the cardiovascular nervous system, reduce stress, and support peripheral blood flow, often overlooked after middle age. Point 2. Inner thigh point, measured about 4 finger widths from the groin fold. This location is closely linked to blood circulation in the genital area and lymphatic drainage, often blocked in older men due to prolonged sitting habits. Point 3. Liver 3 Tai Chong, located between the big toe and the second toe at the slightly raised area when you flex your foot. This point plays a key role in hormonal balance, supports natural testosterone production, and stabilizes emotional states. Initially, Mr. George didn't expect much. But after just 2 weeks of consistent practice, he called me on his own, with a voice full of vitality. I don't know what's happening, but this morning I really felt like my body was coming back to life. You see, these 3 points are not magic. But when used properly, they reawaken a flow that had long been disrupted, helping the body reconnect physical sensation with internal awareness. And if you want results that don't just stop at initial improvements, but are sustainable over time, then your nutrition after each application session plays a very important role. In the next part, I'll guide you on what to eat and what to avoid after using the oil mixture to help your body absorb the full benefits and maintain long-term effectiveness. Part 4. What to eat after applying the mixture, the secret to nourishing recovery from within. There is a golden window that appears right after you use the castor oil and pine oil mixture. That is when the blood vessels have just dilated, the tissues have just softened, and blood circulation has just been awakened. At that time, any nutrients you take in will be absorbed more deeply, more effectively, or conversely be hindered if you eat the wrong way. I once supported a patient named Bill, 72 years old, a former firefighter, decisive in nature but also quite stubborn in his eating habits. Although he practiced the massage therapy regularly, the results were inconsistent. When we reviewed his diet together, I realized something concerning. Sausages, refined white bread, carbonated soft drinks, foods that seemed simple but were actually the destroyers of the newly awakened circulation. These foods trigger inflammatory responses, constrict capillaries, and make all your body care efforts less effective. Instead of asking him to completely change everything, I suggested small adjustments, only to be done 30–45 minutes after each time applying the mixture, when the body is in a state ready to receive nutrients. A glass of fresh beetroot juice helps the body increase nitric oxide production, naturally dilating blood vessels. Half an avocado contains healthy fats that support male hormones and maintain healthy cell membranes. A small bowl of steamed spinach with olive oil and garlic helps soften blood vessel walls and improve circulatory drainage. Finally, a small piece of pure dark chocolate rich in flavonoids helps improve blood flow to the genital area. After just a few days of regular practice, Mr. Bill called me, his voice full of excitement. I feel so much lighter, my mind is sharp, and every morning I wake up with positive energy. This shows that nutrition not only plays a role in maintaining, but also in activating and strengthening every recovery result. If your body is a newly opened stream, then food is the water. You choose clear water or murky water, and the result will show clearly over time. And alongside food, there is one invisible factor that is no less important: how you perceive your self-worth after the age of 60. Dear friend, today's journey is not about a miracle, but about returning to yourself through each massage session, each breath, and each healthy food choice. From castor oil, the oil that penetrates deeply, to pine essential oil, the essence that softens tissue and activates circulation. From the reflex points that support physiological response to the simple meal that brings back vitality. All are aimed at one thing: helping you reconnect with yourself, awakening the masculine energy that still quietly exists within. That strength has never left you. It is just temporarily sleeping and waiting to be awakened by your patient and gentle actions toward yourself. If you found today's video helpful, please hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so our channel can continue to accompany you every week with natural, practical, and science-backed knowledge specifically for men's health after 60. Thank you for taking the time to listen and share this journey. I'm Dr. Samuel Grant, wishing you good health, strength, and a positive spirit every day. See you in the next video.